Salam, 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 you guys. Hey, and welcome back. So last week we talked about how it's not about you and your business, right? And within that topic, I talked to you guys about my point of view and the importance of niching down. And I told you that this week we'll go over how you can do that so that you can be more intentional in your business efforts, okay? So when it comes to marketing yourself online, there's such a big arena to tackle, and there are already so many people who are offering so many services. So how do you cut through the noise? Basically, you have to niche down. I know that there are some people who have a difference of opinion on the topic, and they'll tell you not to limit yourself. Some people will. While there is some truth to not limiting yourself, there's more truth in giving yourself, a fair shot by allowing you to even be heard, period. When you start your service business, you need to be clear on what you want to offer, and you need to be clear on who you want to serve. Let's talk about what I mean by serving. The way you appeal to someone with intent to actually purchase your services is to appeal to the person. We're not selling to robots here. You have to be able to speak to the person. The way you appeal to the person is by speaking to their specific problem. Because let's face it, no one is paying you extra money for kicks. People take their hard-earned money and they pay someone to fix a problem. It would be a lot for you to assume that you can fix everybody's problem, so you don't really want to try to fix everybody's problem. You look at one specific area in the market and just really hone in on what that problem is for that person. And then you become an expert at fixing that problem. Because when you become an expert, you will learn what it is that this person needs, and your marketing and everything will start to be geared towards that problem. You're not just going to say, I have this service, this is what I'm charging, this is what I'm going to do for you. No, that needs to translate into, or not translate, but you need to move that in the direction more of speaking to the problem. So instead of saying, I offer this service for this price, this is what I'm going to do for you, you say, aren't you wanting to address this particular issue? This is how I will, solve this problem for you. Or not even saying this is how, but just saying, something along the lines of the solution, being the solution, right? So this is what I mean by serving. Essentially, you're in a business to make somebody's life more convenient. So now that we know, we'll serve other people by fixing their problems, let's talk about how to figure out whose problems you want to fix in the first place, okay? The actual niche or niche, whatever. So there are a few ways you can do this. You can niche down in your business. So let's focus on two major ways, okay? One way is to decide on who you want to work with, okay? The other one is going to have to do with what service you're offering. So let's dissect these one at a time. So if we're looking at deciding who you want to work with, okay, this can be twofold, because first you're choosing an industry to serve. And then once you figure out the industry, you're going to go a step further and you're going to find your specific niche in that industry. So for example, we're going to look at the wedding industry, okay? That's very expansive. It's a very big industry, right? So for the sake of this example, you wouldn't want to market your services saying you just serve the wedding industry. Maybe one day you can. Like I said, you can always grow. But to start off with, you don't want to say that because it's too expansive. You want to specify who within the wedding industry do you want to serve. For example, maybe you're serving wedding photographers or wedding decorators or wedding florists or wedding venues, wedding planners, bridal shops, tuxedo shops, jewelry for, weddings. You get the idea, right? Like I said, all of these different people that I'm naming, photographers, florists, venues, they are all their own separate businesses. And they have them all over the country and several other countries. So you specify in that one specific thing, you're not going to run out of people that you can market to. And you will be more intentional and be more effective because they will know, okay, this person only works with bridal shops. This person only works with wedding photographers. So she or he is really going to get my message, right? They're really going to be able to help me market to my clients, right? So this is what I'm saying. Find your niche within that industry, okay? So even though you could say the whole industry, it just, like I said, it entails so much, and you'll give yourself a better shot, the more specific that you get. Okay, so you get the idea. You have to find your set of people within the industry that you want to work with, because again, you can focus on their specific needs to speak specifically to them. And we'll go over some more examples here a little bit later. The next way that we talked about for you to niche down, besides finding the industry and that specific set of people to work with within that industry, is to niche down based on the actual service that you offer. So this is also, pretty important. Now that you know who you want to work with, it's time to decide what you want to do for them. So you can either niche by choosing the specific industry clients and offering them only one service or many services. Okay? And then you can do it backwards by deciding if you want to do one specific service, but that it'll be for everybody. So for example, you're doing VA work, but only for wedding photographers, right? Or you're doing work for wedding photographers, but it's anything that they need help with, okay? So that's what that would look like. So again, we're going to look at it in two ways. So going the first route that we talked about, an example would be your specific industry is the wedding industry, and your specific niche within that industry is wedding planners. So if we're going that first route, you chose a specific industry, and now you want to offer them many different services or one specific one. So let's say, again, you do email marketing. You do that for wedding planners, and then that's all you do. That is your specific niche. So if anybody comes up to you and they say, hey, what's your business? What do you do? I do email marketing for wedding planners. That's very specific. You come across the wedding planner who's like, my email's all over the place. They're going to want to work with you instead of somebody who just says, excuse me, I'm a VA for the wedding industry. That's just what it is. But now, let's say you do social media, okay, and everything that entails, because social media is everything, that has to do with social and marketing and two-way conversations online. So we're talking posting on different platforms. We're talking about emailing, blogs, reviews, reputation management, all that stuff is, in social media. So let's say you do that, but you only do it for wedding planners. That was you niching down with one particular client, but offering many services, okay? So we're going to look at an example in the second type of niching down that we said. Or actually, no, we did those examples. But let's go back to the other one. We're talking about the actual job itself, right? Let's say an email marketer, okay? Yeah, because we talked about the industry, what you can offer them, but now let's talk about this. So let's just say your service is email marketing now, and you do that for anyone. So that's marketing to many people. I'm just trying to give you guys a lot of examples so that my rambling will translate into meaning something. But you do email marketing, but now you only specifically do that for daycares. That's you niching down by the service and either offering it to many or one specific industry-related client, right? Okay, so now that you have an idea of what it means to niche down very specifically, you can evaluate your own strengths and weaknesses to decide which route you should take with your business. So kind of consider what your hobbies are. Consider what subjects you did well in school. Think about where your interests lie and what you do in your free time. What do you find yourself doing? What do you know a lot about that could serve others and translate into a legitimate business? Or consider who you would like to work with and what you would like to do for them. So just kind of sit down one day, clear about 30 minutes off your schedule, just to yourself, give yourself some time, and just, brainstorm. It doesn't have to be anything, too fancy or anything. Literally, you could get a piece of printer paper and just write all over it wherever you want to, But just make a list of make a list and then see where you find some similarities or something that you can come up with to come to terms with whatever your specific niche may be. If you see something that's common that keeps popping up, especially if you're just starting. I would get really specific, okay? Like we said, specific to what the service is and who it's for within a specific industry. Because, let's face it, with the pandemic, the world of remote work and people starting businesses online is significantly increased. So there are some people who have been at it for a while, but there's some newbies. So if you're a newbie, niching down will be your best effort to be able to compete, in the market against people who have just been around for a while. And then, like I said, once you've gotten your feet wet a little bit, you can decide if you want to expand the services you offer or who you offer them to. And don't be afraid of change. This is your business, and you're well within your rights to be flexible. If you get started in one way, but things are looking better in another direction, just take the experience that you've, accumulated and just kind of pivot. It's no big deal. It's your business. Well, but that's all I wanted to address today. So just to kind of piggyback off of last week's topic, like I said, about it not being about you, we just wanted to talk about the importance of niching down and how you can do that. So I actually have a free resource on my website that will help you to niche down if you're not sure, about how to get specific, or you are trying to do your little brainstorming activity and you're not really getting anywhere. I do have a resource that has very specific questions, so it'll walk you through some activities and some self-reflection so that you can discover where your strengths may lie. So if you're at a loss, you can go ahead and check it out and see if it'll help you kind of get unstuck and then be able to move forward with researching your industry more and then developing those skills so that you can start offering the services. It's at my website, which is amirabellaagency.com, on the freebies page. So I'll try to put that in the notes here. But that's kind of what I have for you today. So I'm wishing you guys the best, in your self-discovery activities to find where, you can serve the market of online entrepreneurship and get started, and I'll see you guys next week in the next episode. All right, salam.